Hey, for the Wall Street Journal, I'm Jim Fusilli. Our guest today is Terence Blanchard, jazz icon, film score composer. No jazz artist has ever composed as many film scores as Terence. He's doing the music for a Broadway production of Streetcar Named Desire. Terence, welcome.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're talking about some damaged people, some brutal people,
Right.
some things that are never said but are shown quite clearly. Are you emphasizing story? Are you emphasizing character? Are you creating mood? What's your challenge?
It's more about creating a sense of the city and trying to create a mood. There's some things that I want the music to do in terms of creating the social nature of what New Orleans is all about. You know, when you listen to New Orleans music itself has a very social approach to its performance. Everybody's playing, but it all makes sense. And when you look at this play, you know, it's really a beautiful ensemble piece. You know, you see Stanley with all of his guys playing polka, you see Blanche and her sister, they're always involved in these very communal things throughout the play. But the one thing that struck me was about all of the characters, in a weird way, there's an endearing nature about all of them, even Stanley, you know, because let's face it, Art Blakey always used to say, we're always trying to find out what our real truth is anyway in life. And that's what I get from these characters. So there's one particular theme that reoccurs. You know, I've been calling it kind of like the love theme. You know, it's for Stella and Stanley. And that's probably one of the more specific character-driven themes. And then there's another one for Blanche as she has her flashbacks. There's a little piano thing that'll play for that. But other than that, the music is really trying to, I want to try to set the table, so to speak.
This strikes me as a rather recent phenomenon, to have non-musical plays scored with the kind of cues that enrich the audience understanding. Is it a recent phenomenon?
Well, I'm not a big historian of the theater, but in talking to Emily Mann, you know, that was one of the things she talked about. You know, New Orleans, the French Quarter itself has a beautiful existence in that it's very much like living in New York. You know, people who are not from New York, they can't understand how you guys love the sound of the trains and the cars going by. You know, it's that constant rhythm of sound that you get used to. It becomes endearing to you. It becomes your safety blanket. Well, in New Orleans, in the French Quarter, we have the same thing, but it's all music-driven, mostly. And then there's a cacophony of sounds of just people gathering and talking on the streets. So in this play, you will always hear, not always, but for the most part, you will hear things in the background. You'll hear music. There are two clubs. You'll hear music coming from one club on the right, and you'll hear music coming from one club on the left. So it's all designed to kind of just make sure that people understand that this is a busy area. This is a lively area that people are living in. So in that way, it's probably a little different than most plays.